We winning, bro. I can do whatever it is I want to do, I can do it. Just not what I want, do what I want. Y'all can't do that, bro. Goof.
Bro got out what?
You know that.
How many you did all?
How many years I did it now?
Yeah, that's your last bit. 12?
12.
That boy popped out 12 years.
Yeah.
So much money. We really was just getting that in order to just figure out the lanes, man, boy.
Feel so good, man. 2 lawyers, man.
I can tell him about the building you got?
Everything.
Man, it's closed on the building, man. We ain't f***ing around.
You know that we did it.
OTF Jam life is over after being exposed as a killer rat and being completely destroyed on stand after offering up murders to the feds that he committed personally. And we about to get right into it, but first I need y'all to hit that like button and share this to spread awareness. And if you ain't subscribed to the channel, this is a good time to do it now. Shout out to my real supporters, man. I appreciate y'all 100. Now Brian STEELE was shutting down Jam inconsistencies left and right. Jam testified he received a phone call to fly out to LA from Booney Mo out the blue. But Brian STEELE pulled Jam phone records and had Jam look over him while he was on the stand. And come to find out, Jam called Booney Mo twice, not the other way around, and both calls went unanswered. So after a while, Booney Mo would hit him back, and this is the alleged phone call that Jam was told to fly out to LA on. Now when caught in a lie, Jam would backtrack and said that the phone call wasn't what was out the blue, it was the conversation that was out the blue, which really didn't make no sense. And Jam also testified that he heard Durk's voice on a separate phone while he was speaking to Booney Mo. So Brian STEELE asked him was his wife ever interviewed to corroborate this story. A short pause, then STEELE said she was not. And then STEELE asked Jam why. Jam replied, it's not his job, it's the Fed's job. But I guess they dropped the ball. So Brian STEELE popped off the cross by asking Jam, is he a scary person? Jam said, some might say that. STEELE said, objectively? Jam said, I don't even know what objectively means. I said, oh yeah, he about to get in his head, watch this. STEELE said, are you a dangerous person? Even right now? Jam said, no, I'm just chilling. Brian STEELE, do you realize how much time you spend tracking down and hunting your prey? You get here and go straight to killing. Jam said, yes. Brian STEELE said, you go right into action to find, kill, and hunt. Jam said, you say go right into action. Well, they would've got killed at the hotel. Brian STEELE said, you was preparing. Then Jam said, yes. Brian STEELE said, if you looked at your to-do list that day, it was to kill. Jam said, I ain't banking on Durk to get a life sentence. Brian STEELE said, you wanna go home, sir? Jam said, I want a number. Brian STEELE told him, you in part have accused Durk of these crimes. Jam said, I told the truth about it. STEELE said, the truth is decided by others, true? Jam said, true. And then why your boy Brian STEELE busts out the audio of Jam talking to the feds in LAPD in 2023. And in this interview, you can hear OTF Jam saying that he was never told by Durk that it was a bounty on Quando Rondo or Lil Tim. And then when STEELE asked him why did he lie, Jam said it's more to it than that. STEELE said, yeah, it's always more to it with you. Jam said, but they killed Slutty though. Slutty popped up on Lil Tim, security told him to freeze and shot him in the back of the head. They had Tim there and Slutty got killed. So Jam basically running it down like he was coerced to kill. He was like, if I ain't killed Pab, they would have killed me. Then Brian STEELE asked him, what you think you more important than the people you killed? Jam said, oh no, I ain't say that, no. And then STEELE asked Jam, why you run to the car after the hit? Jam said, obviously I ain't just go stand there, nobody would. But then Brian STEELE said, but most people wouldn't kill nobody. But this is what you do, you different, ain't you, Mr. Minister? And then Jam got to smiling and feeling himself like, oh yeah, man, I'm different for sure. And Didi, a minister too, pointed at her. Then B STEELE said, nah, man, you fled like a coward. He up there treating him on the stand. Jam said, yeah, I fled how you said. STEELE said, that's what you are, a coward. The only time you get respect is when you put a gun or something. I'm like, damn, Durk done fed these motherfuckers so much bread, they up there treating the snitches like ops. You can't make this up. B Steele said your twin sister named Jelly, and you said Jam stand for just another murder. Jam said, oh man, what the? I ain't say that. I ain't never heard of that. Then Steele said, nobody made you pull that trigger, did they? Jam said, nope. I said, oh shit, it's over with. Then Brian Steele said, you killed a human being. Jam said, it ain't like I walked up to him and blew his brains out. Steele said, you already did that before. Then Brian Steele was discussing that Jam could have hit an innocent bystander or a kid while he was shooting at Quando Rondo crew. Then Brian Steele told Jam, bullet ain't got no eyes. Then Jam said, bullets ain't got no eyes or names. And then Brian Steele asked Jam about his previous murders. Jam says, you wouldn't have knew about them if I wouldn't have told you. Jam said, that's not what I'm looking for on a daily basis. That's not what's on my mind. And Steele said, but that's what was on your mind on the 19th day of August in 2022. And I'm thinking to myself, like, B Steele laying his leather belt. Steele asked Jam about being recorded by the FBI and LAPD and about the protocol. Jam said, when I talk to them people, I don't know the protocol. I'm not a police officer. Jam asked, is that on me? Brian Steele said, it is now, Mr. Hester. Brian Steele said, by August 2022, you have children. Jam said, I have a son. Brian Steele, that you hardly know. Jam said, I had a relationship with him in prison. Oh yeah, B Steele cutting into him. Hold on, I'm B Steele. Hell no, that's crazy. Hey, look, he said, you had the opportunity to be with your son. Instead, you were holding a gun to someone you don't even know. Oh yeah, see, he pushing his buttons. He trying to find the right button so he can push, so he can crash. So then Brian Steele would go on to ask Jam, so you don't want to be held accountable for your murders? Jam said, I mean, I did give them murders they didn't even know about. Jam ass was getting smoked up there. And a lot of people ask me, how do I feel about OTF Jam after we had that little conversation in the den? Shit, I think he a rotten garbage ass nigga for many reasons. And a cautionary tale to the so-called drillers in this world that believe if you feed the killers, they won't turn around and get busy on you. See, Jamie Sosa had a lot to say about Durk, but one thing he didn't say was that Durk never left him starving. Man, could you imagine riding with a nigga for 13 years, you get out and hit his hand with 50 grand, next thing you know, they pointing you out on the stand like it was part of the plan. And now that the official word out there that he did his rappy like that, Jamie the Bull gonna have a hard time behind them walls. Especially when he touched down in federal prison. And your boy B Steele go wrap up that cross-exam with Jam today, so make sure you hit that notification bell and stay updated. Let me know what you think in the comments, and hype me up, and I'm gonna catch you in the next one. Drill Time TV, I'm out.
Gonna rip apart this diabolical lying rat because he's selfish. He only think about himself, and then on top of that, you know what I'm saying, he's the liar. And we're gonna expose all that. Brian Steele gonna rip him to shreds. Mark my words. We'll finish talking about this later when it's over with. That's gonna be the real body, the Brian Steele body. Did he get on this rat on this stand?